Welcome to this video on advice for getting a good website even if you're a small business. There are a lot of reasons we see out on the web why small businesses oftentimes have terrible websites, lacking a lot of the most basic things that any website should have, like contact forms, updated information, good authoritative content, pictures, things like that. There's a couple of tips to keep in mind if you're a small business and you're looking to get a website or get your website overhauled. One is get multiple quotes. Ask a few people, get estimates from several people. That doesn't just mean people from in town. Take the time, ask around and get quotes from national companies as well, just to get a good idea what you're going to pay for a website. Oftentimes the best work comes from freelancers, but they can be hard to find, especially a reliable one. Focused on having lots of helpful content. One of the common fears we see the most is people with this perception that if they give all the information, they'll just do it themselves or go buy it somewhere else. Well, sometimes that's true. Those typically aren't the customers you want anyway. What it does in reality is build up a lot more trust and authoritativeness for your company, and people are more likely to do business with you long term, spend more money with you when they do business with you. So don't be afraid to be very trustworthy and authoritative. That's something you can't fake. And having great content on your website is about the only way you can do it online. Usability is very important, so make sure your website's easy to navigate. It's not too crazy to look at. Imagine people have about the attention span of a 3-year-old when they're online. So you need to show them what they're looking for, tell them why they should use you, and complete the transaction, whether it's a physical sale, a phone call, or an email. You need to do all these steps very quickly. It's often a best practice to have a phone number on every page and have a lead form or an option to buy no more than one click outside of whatever page somebody's on. Again, have an obvious contact option. So if you have just a contact us tab, that's obviously what most people use. You want to have a big 800 number that you can track. So using Marchex or some other company like that, get an 800 number that you can track your calls to, which leads into the fifth thing, is tracking everything. So you want to have Google Analytics or some other analytics on your website to track what your visitors are doing, how long they're spending on your site, what keywords are driving you traffic. So a quick example of how analytics can help you. There are two particular pieces of information that are very helpful, both the entrance page and the exit page. The entrance page is what they see first, so oftentimes it's your home page, sometimes it's internal pages. The exit page is the last page they see. So if you have a really high amount of people leaving on a particular page, it's safe to assume in most cases they're not finding what they need there. And the entrance page, same thing. You can know, hey, what are these people seeing? How can I control what they're doing? What they're clicking on, things like that. So, bottom line is there's a lot to keep in mind when you're a small business and you're hoping to maximize your return on investment for a website. What I did below here is I tried to break out what most people pay for a website so that you can use this against your quotes. A basic website with a custom design should cost somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000 typically. More advanced website with e-commerce or blog applications, things like that, might range from $2,500 to $5,000. Full e-commerce site with a full shop and buy here website with lots of products, credit card processing, things like that. You're typically looking for about $5,000 plus. $5,000 to $7,000 is probably a reasonable price range to be in. So this is just kind of a guide of what to expect. Can you get a website for $500? Absolutely. You could probably get one for $50, but you get what you pay for, and remember that your website is essentially your virtual showroom, and so what people see on your website is what they'll associate with your company as a whole. So you want to take the time to have a great looking website and have lots of content and everything that they need. So thanks, and I hope this helps if you're a small business getting your website together.